Okay. Oh, a few minutes. Oops. All right, let's get a move on. So, okay, sorry about that. Running a little late today.
Good morning.
Morning. Good to see you back. Good to see you back, Cindy. How's everything? I think it was Cindy, all right? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't Cindy. No, that was Mary. Okay. Anyway, Anne Marie, this is your problem. Oh, that was probably Lynette. I'm sorry, Lynette.
That sounded like.
Yeah.
Hi, Anne Marie.
No worries.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, this is your problem. This is something you caused. What we're going to be painting today. This is from last week. Yeah, everybody did really, really well on this. Mine's still very wet. One of the things I was going to point out is that these wild grasses here and stuff, they can kind of take over. And one of the things is make sure you have a couple that go against the grain in them. A couple stalks that go against the grain, because otherwise it becomes a fan, and that's really close to what mine was doing. So there might be a couple I need to put in that cross over, because everything's reaching up. We need one to kind of go against the grain there, or they all look like, too uniform. Otherwise, everything else good. Looks good. The distance works right. I thought, good job. Good job overall. Oh, there we go. We'll put this guy back away when he doesn't get wet. Touched. Well, more damage. Dang it. Caused more work for myself. Putting them away. Oh. Anyway. Today we're going to be moving into Africa. We're painting Africa. We're going to be painting some giraffes here from, sorry, just tying my apron here up. From Anne Marie. She sent me a few different giraffes to work on. And, I have never painted giraffes. I don't paint a lot of wildlife like this that, if I don't see it up close and personal, type things. I mean, I go to the zoo and I've seen these guys, but it's one of those things. It's just the experience, like she had. She, Anne Marie, if you want to say any words, I mean, I know this is from a safari. You could.
This is in the Serengeti, and the Swahili word for giraffe.
That's just south of Chicago, right?
Right. And the Swahili word for giraffe is twiga. So we have 3 twiga here. And this is not retouched. This is actually what it looked like.
Really?
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. I mean, I love the distance and everything in it. And I really liked it a lot. So I mean, I just wanted to get it in this session for you guys. Anything else you want to say? I'm sorry, I just kind of cut you off.
No, I just love the colors and the light. It was that sort of golden hour. And
yeah. So
that's it.
It's quite amazing. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it today. They're not horses at least, but so we can probably get them done. We don't have to be super specific on these guys, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about hooves.
The hooves.
I don't know. I don't know how the heck we're going to do the markings. So I will be interested in how you approach that.
Okay. 1 second here. It's not showing up here in this section. Let me see if it goes here to my cloud drive. Oh, I'm going to have to download it. Sorry. 1 second. Should have been, I sent it over here. It's where I saw it. So it's just not showing up. So I have to get it from our class. All right. Sorry about that. Should be in there now. I don't. Yeah. My printer was pretty messed up there. So you can really see all the distance in that one going all the way back there. These palm trees here. Pretty amazing. And these 3 guys just hanging out in between. That's a really great composition there, Anne Marie, too. I love the composition, how everything comes down at an angle here,
Yeah.
Comes down like that, and then comes back up. It's really, just a good thing here going on overall. I like those movements and stuff. Yeah. Everything's right there. You got your your horizon goes back in there, past right around 1/3. That's really nice. You have interest everywhere. You got you got this guy right here, and you got this guy right over here, and you go down in here. So you got good things going on all over the paintings, all over this design. I don't see any real huge problem, except for that line in the background. We're going to put a line pride down lane, back there. No, we're not going to do that. Just trying to get you guys confused. I don't want you guys understanding this too much. Okay. Really, looking at this guy design wise, good. Colors really quite nice. Like you said, it's golden hour, so everything looks even better. Okay. Toughest thing, of course, in this thing is the spots. How are we going to handle spots? You know, that's going to be, I'm just thinking about it. You could paint. One of the things I don't want to do is have to go back in between the spots and do lights and darks too much. I mean, we're gonna have to do it, but I don't want to do it too much. So what I'm gonna try to do, I think I'm gonna take out the spots and paint the spots afterwards. Come back in and paint them afterwards. And just like you can kind of see how this one, right, this spot here, how it goes here. Sorry. God dang it. Come on. Goes here, and these guys radiate around it. And they just keep radiating out and around. And they're kind of like always, they're like almost like a soccer ball. The spots always kind of come into these lines here. That's where the next one is in between those lines. So, well, maybe not. This one doesn't look like that, but that does look like a soccer ball. Shapes and stuff. A little house here. We got a house here going there, and so maybe they're houses.
Huh.
This guy has squares over here. It's so. What I'm trying to guess what I'm trying to say is you don't. Some things you can put in just almost any kind of like squared stroke. You should be good. I'd say a flat brush, nice flat, could do all these spots and try to get a few different ones in there. It'll be able to make different shapes constantly. Shape wise, size wise, look at it, from these bigger ones up here to smaller ones down there. Keep that in mind that they do shrink. Let me get this small down a little bit. So we got different size ones. They're not, when you get to the big ones, there's not really a huge difference in size. But when you get to the legs, you can start to see how they really taper off, and they fade a little bit too, right? Those are just things I'm looking at. Head wise, look at that head. That's just a pizza pie. You're doing a piece of pizza here, and you got it. He's got, got to watch out for those anchovies there. And then a couple little nice horns. I'm not sure if those are horns or what they are called. I don't know. So I'm really showing my I think this is an ear coming forward.
I was going to say, do they have ears? I don't know.
Yeah.
I see the others on the other one.
Ears, but barely anything right there. I think it's really, one of those things is we'll have to make it up a little bit. You can see it from further back. I think you can see it, definitely you can start seeing them, how they spread out. That one's just coming to the side there. This one, you can see them on this guy pretty good. They are cooler. They are very cool compared to the warmth of the yellow of their skin there, regular skin. So they're a little cooler. Okay, things to look at. And then the grasses. We should be pros at doing grasses now since last week. How to put those guys in, lead them in there and take over, how they kind of work into the image. They don't, and they kind of pull the image together. That's what I'm going to be trying to do with these guys down here. Pulling the image together here. You don't have to worry about feet. Definitely don't have to worry about feet. And then we have the nice, palms here coming in from the sides. And then we start to talk about distance. After this area here, that's when we start to go back to there. So we need to go from here where we have a little bit more warmth in this area, to cooler grayed out, to grayed out, to gray, to gray to sky. So we got to have all these humps into that background, and they're just, it seems like a lot, but it's really quite simple. We're just going to really just gray out the color as we go back, a little bit blue it out. In this case, it's more purple out because of the time of day. Colors change. The sky is not blue anymore. It's going down. So those kind of little things back there. And then, like I said, one of the things that always to remember when you get farther back, there is all the shapes, edges and stuff, when you paint these things, have to be soft. You can't have a hard edge. You got to have softer edges back here. Everything has to be soft so you get the distance. If you put hard edges back there, you're just throwing a wrench into everything and just making it, you're telling people that this is sharp back here instead of out of focus. So that's why we always got to blur things out as we go back. Here up here, everything's going to be pretty sharp, pretty clean. Even with these guys, it's one of the things though is, like I said, from my painting, I want to paint this wet into wet. So I want to have everything on these guys kind of painted before I decide go in and put in the dots and the markings stuff. So we'll work on the heads though for sure, and then we'll get going. Definitely, it's really nice that these guys are a little different. I mean, instead of being able to use these colored spots for everybody, we're going to have to really separate them out, that these guys are orange here. These guys are a little more yellowish. And then these guys over here are browner. So that's good. It's good to know. It's just kind of, they'll separate these guys out too with their spots, and it'll make them nice. So it doesn't look like we, use the same color for everybody. Does not mean though I can't take some of this color and add it into this guy here and there, or that guy, or that dark into here and into face or something like that. Just the overall majority of this guy has to be darker, and then this one has to be warmer, and then this is more yellow. That's all we have to do. But we can get away with a little bit of, so we don't have to mix every color. And same with the greens. We're going to be greens up here, going to be warmer compared to these guys. This guy's probably not too far away. This guy doesn't seem too far away, but you can see back in here how they blew out and gray out a little bit. And that's one of the things too. I talked about edges, but there's also contrast as you go back and stuff. We talked about graying things out as you go back all the way back to this area. But even in the shadows and stuff, you can just see how much more knocked out. It's not as warm as here. There is very cool. And making sure that this area here does not become what I think is spotty. It has to be kind of laid together. It has to feel like it's one. You don't want any contrast. You don't want anything like this right here. We have a warmer, this shadows here popping out at us. So everything's just grayed out. So there's no, no contrast, big contrast. They're all nice and even. So that's what I'm looking at. And that's what we're going to have some fun with. Great shot there, Anne-Marie. Okay. So
Thanks.
Any big questions?
Oh, it is a great shot. It's a great composition, and I like, a lot of the colors of the grasses blend real nice into the giraffes. So it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, if I can do it, but you'll be able to do it.
We will be able to do it. We've been having fun with these things. Distance is a good one, always a good one to paint. It's always a good lesson for all of us. So I think that's good. Let's get back over to our palette, and we'll start talking about what we're going to be doing. Let me get my painting up, or the photo up. Okay. Normal stuff here we have out for normal kit. Some brushes, we have some synthetics, and we have some bristles, and big brushes, palette knife, paint erasers, always good to have. Colors, just going with titanium white. I got some cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. These guys are probably could pay a lot. And this ochre too. Those guys are these warms here are really gonna jump into the front of the painting. And then pretty much all these cools back in here will probably help us get distance. This is of course, to this Terra Rosa still left over. Getting stuff out of it. This is so this are in crimson for you, or if you have Rembrandt colors, this would be Rose Madder Deep. This cobalt blue hue might be a little low on that one. Phthalo green too. Looks like I'm a little low on that. I have some burnt sienna out, and that's just kind of left over from another painting, but it might come in really handy in this one. Here I have this is some getting rid of it. It was unbleached white. Getting rid of it. Not going to be in here. It's really sticky and it's old. It's from another painting. Here, this is transparent oxide red. And Anne Marie, since it's her day, asked about the difference between oxide red, transparent oxide red, and Terra Rosa and Venetian. And all I can say is Terra Rosa is a lot like Venetian, a little like Venetian, not quite as dark, and it's a lot like oxide brown light. But this is transparent oxide brown, so we're just going to add a little bit of white to it. You can see all of a sudden that warmth that it had naturally kind of fades away a little bit. But it's a little bit warmer. See how red and pink this gets? So there's quite a difference between those two colors. One's more orange. That's a transparent one. It's a lot more warm, and the Terra Rosa is very cool. You can see what I mean about this being like you being able to use this instead of Venetian or oxide red. It's pretty close. This is just a little dark, so I don't know if we'll need them, but I want to clean this area here. All right. I do have some, like I said, a couple other colors up there, but they're not going to be used today. So, and of course, our big brush for big ideas and mix of other brushes. I still got to clean those. Yeah, so I'll be cleaning those as I go. Photo-wise, my inkjet's running out of ink, so I got some stripes in here. I work off my monitor anyway, so we'll be all right. Darks. Let's look at these darks first. What do we need? What do we really need? We need warm darks and we need cooler darks, but most of the darks in this painting are right in front, and they do have a lot of warmth in them. So we're going to start off with phthalo green, because that always makes a little bit warmer dark than and starting off with blue. I'm going to go with Terra Rosa, which is probably going to be tear the heck out of this phthalo green here. So I'm going to hedge my bet, knowing that it's going to be a little warm, going to fit in there pretty well. And then doing one on the other side where it's more phthalo green than Terra Rosa. And that should get me, dark enough to get me to everything I need in this area here. You know, dark wise, they're definitely, those are enough to do a good start. But I want to do, I'm going to be probably, you know, graying this out as I go. So the other colors, I will want to do some background colors, thinking about background, going depth. So I will be going a little blue and Terra Rosa. One on the Terra Rosa side. I think this color, I'm kind of hedging my bet on this color. I should probably make a little bit bigger pile. This is just Terra Rosa, blue, and then one's going to be blue and Terra Rosa. At this value, you know, it can be in there. You know, sometimes these cools in the middle of a dark can make things, you know, give you depth, or a dark inside of dark, and you know, warmth inside of a cool. You know, they take you back and forth in areas, so we can penetrate this area with these colors. So I'm thinking about that. Also, I'm thinking these two colors grayed out with white. I think I'll be able to get most of the land. I need a couple other colors, definitely, right? We do need to get some warmth, start thinking about the warmth in here. So we need some, I'm going to go with burnt sienna. If you have burnt sienna, you can be great to have out. I haven't used burnt sienna in a while, so I can see why you guys might not have it out. I'm just going to put a little phthalo green into it. Phthalo green should kick the butt out of burnt sienna. It shouldn't take much to overpower it. So basically I want one on each side, one on the green side, and one just a hair.
So what are you adding? What are you adding to the burnt sienna? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just phthalo green.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, just phthalo green, just a hair of it into the first one, because I figured that that's going to be just too much. And then the second one, I go, well, you know, it's going to be on the green side. So, and you start to look at this, they make a great, really nice kind of brown too. So I'm going to do one more green while I'm here then. You know, I think I have an idea what's going to happen here. So I'm going to go with cad red in phthalo green. What this is going to do, I'm hoping when I add enough white to these colors, that I can get the land out of them. So definitely one on the green side. And one on the reddish side. Okay.
What was the last one? The red?
Yeah, cad red and phthalo green.
Cad red. Okay, thanks.
Oh, I'm going to need one more green. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at these trees, and I'm going, oh, and some things here. This might be really nice to have. Phthalo green and alizarin, which probably should have done up front. Definitely one on the alizarin side because of the purple it's going to make. I think that this purple here, that this is going to become, can end up being really close to that, if it might be a really nice change of pace from the purple that we're going to get here. So that's what I'm thinking. But okay, so we made quite a few darks. We're going to knock these down, and then have to add some yellows to them and oranges to them, and we'll get everything else we need. But everything else is right here. So take these piles and just split them. And value wise, there's a lot of different values in here. But mostly mid-tone. I mean, if you look at any of this stuff in here, it's really right around a 5. So we're going to be adding white to a lot of this. So it's probably almost half and half, not a little less than half in white. Just, maybe less than that even, probably. And then after that, we're going to make some yellows, more yellows for the grasses out of these colors up here. And we should be able to get the giraffes too. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of white to this, trying to get to like I said, a 5 value. And you can see I'm really at a 7 right now, so it is a little bit more white. Still around a 6. All right. Pretty close. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this one too, all of my colors here. And as you can see that even this one, let's start off with Terra Rosa and red and phthalo green. Terra Rosa should have been stronger in that one, and it isn't. But you can start to see where I kind of want to go with this, where it can go. This needs to go on the red side. That's going to take a little bit more white. There we go. That's really way up there, isn't it? Yeah, it's right there. You start to see where that color can come into play. This is the blue and Terra Rosa with white. This one I might not take quite as far up. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to have to I'm going to leave a mid-tone of this, a little bit darker mid-tone, I think, like this. I think this can get underneath this stuff here a little bit. So, but then I'll take these down to 5s. So I left the one up around to 8. But I want to take the rest down to 5s. You can start to see how blue this becomes. Yes, a little bit too far. Not too bad. You can start to see how that distance there starts to come out of this. This is pretty much not all the way back there, but it can be close. A lot of times just the switch of a warm to a cool, they can be at the same value, and just switching from a warm and a cool, the warmth will come forward. I can put that here, put that one right behind it, and just get the distance without lightening up the colors too much. Now these are some of these worms and stuff. This is I think it is cad red and phthalo green. No, isn't it? Cad red. Yeah, it has to be cad. No, that's cad red right here in phthalo green. This must be.
I think that's the burnt sienna and phthalo green. Is it?
Thank you. I don't do that color very often, and thank you, Jeannie. You get an A for the day just like that. Congrats.
Oh my gosh, I have to take notes on everything. Trust me.
You're right. Phthalo green and burnt sienna. I haven't used burnt sienna in a bit, so that's kind of like I'm thinking. So thinking about these grasses, I'm thinking these two colors might be able to, when we take them all the way down farther, might do the job where I'm thinking it's going to do. Thinking this guy, that's just phthalo green and cad red right here. You can just see the difference here. This is on the green side. Wow, that burnt sienna was a lot stronger than I really thought. This is cad red and phthalo green. And you can see how cool it became. That stayed really warm. That's amazing. I didn't. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, this color, these two colors grayed out are going to do some real nice change. This area here grayed down a little bit, should be, I mean, lightened up a little bit more. Will probably be able to get me to some of these areas here. I keep looking at this photo when I should be looking at my screen. I'm sorry too. So these colors are going to have to change a little bit more. They're not warm at all enough. And then these guys, the same thing. I'm just going to take these guys down, but I'm going to probably end up adding a lot of yellow to it. But I'm to do some greens. But this is another color besides these grays here. I was thinking might be really nice for back in here. You know, sometimes it's just when you get going and you know, you might want to switch off with something feels a lot warmer than these guys. These guys feel a little cooler. Just a little strange because of well, because that's blue and red, and this is green and red. These guys should be warmer than that, but wait, this is a alizarin. Sorry, never mind. Never mind what I just said. This is a alizarin, not cad red or oxide red. This is oxide red. These are two colors. You can definitely see the warmth. All right. So those colors there combined together will, you know, get a lot of the midtones out of the way, but they're not going to get hot, light enough. Some of these colors don't get to the midtone, what we need in here. And they don't get spiked enough to do the richness, the warmth and stuff. So we're going to have to come back and take pieces of the home piles and add yellow to them. I would definitely take all the browns. I mean phthalo greens. Anything up here with a little bit phthalo green in it. And we'll add some yellows to it because we're going to get a bunch of greens that we can use for all this stuff. And then we're going to find probably a couple of, I'm not doing the blues. I'm not going to do the blues. But I'm going to add cad yellow to each one of these, probably to take them to, if you get this, probably up to about 3 of these. So it's going to be a little bit of cad yellow pushing into these colors. Well, I'm not going to take them to totally a 3 now, because this one hits some really nice green bronzes. This one too can get in here and do some of that stuff. Yeah, I need to keep going with that. This is this brown here. I'm thinking right here, this color here is going to get probably really close to some of their skin and do some of these things. So don't take it too dark. I mean, I'd say probably keep these at, instead of doing, like I said, 3s, keep them at 5s first. Make sure you have a pile of them at 5s, because definitely you got a few greens we can play with in here. Be nice. And I think that's probably going to be it. I mean, I think we don't even have to take them to 3s. I think what I was thinking about was adding white to some of these guys to get the Serengeti of the land. Running out of yellow. All right, just use what I have. Okay, nothing there. Cat orange.
What are we doing? I'm lost.
Okay. How can you be lost? I was a perfect safari leader. We left her behind. Okay.
It's this third row. This third row I'm lost on.
Yeah, I just took anything I had put phthalo green in. So basically these two colors I didn't use. These are the blue and Terra Rosa. But any of the other ones I put phthalo green in, I brought down here. And I put yellow, cad yellow into. And what I was trying to do is, sorry, lost my paper towels here. I just add cad yellow to them, take them to about a 5. So you can see when I got these cools, and then I got these guys. These guys will come forward. These guys are gonna be in the front of the painting. These will probably be the darks in the middle of the painting. So each one of these should add cad yellow too. Let me grab my cad yellow. Throw a little bit more out, just in case I run out. That's not yellow. Move it up. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's hold up. So what I want to do on some of these things here now, okay, I got richness. We have richness. I'm gonna just take all these colors down a little bit farther. These guys look pretty good. I probably have taken a few of these guys down. I mean up, but to like number 3s. Right now they're at basically 5s. So I have to add pieces of white to each one of these guys. These guys, the same thing. I want to save a piece of these guys, but I want to take these guys down. You're going to find out a lot of the land, a lot of the zebras are going to come from these colors. So just adding white to take them to 3-ish, 4-ish. So it's not going to be a whole lot of white. You can start to see how I'll be able to put these guys in these back areas here. That is still, that's really a 5, so it could go down lighter. Might have to put a little bit of red into this color too. It's just a little rich. No, little too cool. It's getting better. So yeah, you can see. Gonna get some nice cool greens and probably just a little bit. Sorry, talking about myself looking at them. I'm not even cleaning off my knife here. I'm going to want a little bit of mix here too. But then you can start to see, yeah, these next two yellows and stuff, I should be able to get all the giraffes out of. You don't want to go too quickly, too past them, you know, the colors and stuff. So look at these guys for that color. You can definitely see the Serengeti back there out of this color. This is about the right value already. And that value, yeah, that's still a 5 almost. I'll take it up a little bit more. Now this is a beautiful color. So this one's coming out to be. And I think I can get pretty much everything I need out of these next two colors for the land together. When you start to nail it. Yeah. Which is that? That was, must have been Cad red and phthalo green here with yellow coming down with white. Really cooled it off and grayed it out. So those colors mixed together a little bit in between should do a great job of getting the distance. Maybe just a touch more red, you know, all these colors here should do really great for that. And then these are cool phthalo greens and alizarin mixed together. Just a little bit of yellow now with white. I thought that was good. And this is even better. This is really, really, really close to what I need. This other color next to it, the alizarin and got a lot of red in it. Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, if it's not really my foot, I'm going to leave that there. It's a little cool. Okay, so these colors right in here are going to be all the land behind them going back. And then we'll have to lighten up a few of these grays back in here to get the mountains and the sky. And then looking at the giraffes themselves. Okay, the giraffes themselves, gosh, kind of like lost all my piles up here, but I know I'll have to remake those. Definitely have to remake them because I just kind of wiped them all out. I'm thinking about midtones, and wiped out my darks up there, my greens and stuff a little bit too much. That's me talking. This is burnt sienna. This is burnt sienna green. I'm gonna mix that one up a little bit more. That's a nice color. Okay. Yeah, I want to try and get the giraffes colors a little bit closer now. I'm just going to leave this here because I think I'm just going to do a few colors down here. I'm going to take these. I'm going to take these warmer colors and bring these guys down. Even the green ones. Break a little bit of the green ones a little bit. And let's hit these guys with some cad yellow. Just some more cad yellow. This, in fact, I think this looks like lemon yellow. It's like I grabbed lemon yellow. Shouldn't be, basically I'll just have to add less white to the end of the color. But I am going to add white. I just need to get these higher key ones for these guys. Because I think I can get all the shadows and stuff, thinking about the shadows and drawing and stuff. out of that. Let's hit this guy one more time. I didn't think there was a lot of different color variations in this, and I'm finding, like, looking at this thing and going and mixing these colors, like, I just, I'm gonna go with these colors right now, and when I do, I'll at some point I'm gonna have to lighten a few of these colors, probably these pinks, these purples, gray purples. I'll probably have to lighten them for the sky, probably just by doing something like that to get these warmer yellow skies. It might even come out for this red here. That one might get it closer just by hitting it with red, warm red. But these guys will probably all need to be moved to a higher key like that, to a 3-ish, to get all those colors at the end. But I'm only going to do a couple of those. I'm not going to do a ton of those. I think most of these guys will come from these blue, these they have a touch of red in them. They're not quite as blued out as I'm thinking. So that's what I was thinking back in here. So that's what we'll just do at the end, just a few of those. I'll go through the colors again here. Phthalo green and oxide red, or terra rosa, bringing that down to about a 5. These two, that's on the red side, this is on the green side. Over here I did the same thing with blue, terra rosa and blue. Coming down, this is supposed to be on the blue side. That'll be on the red side, down to about a 5. I might even take it up to like a 3 for some of the background for the sky or something. Here I did phthalo green and burnt sienna. Usually never put these two colors together. I do all the other colors together. This is one because I always felt like burnt sienna would just, peter out against the phthalo green. It wouldn't do much. But it did do a pretty good job. It held up pretty well. I was surprised. Usually not a super strong color. But these warms, darks back in here will be nice in the front here. It'll be really great. But to counteract these warms, we do need a few cools here. And sorry, I'm just mixing up some cad red and phthalo green here. These are cad red and phthalo green. I just ran out of them. I just want to make sure I have those because I think I'll be able to use some of these as some of the giraffe markings. So do have phthalo green and cad red together. One on the red side, blue side, phthalo green side, one on the red side. That'll be nice to have. Okay, leave that right there. Over here we have phthalo green and alizarin together, and coming those guys down. Over here, I took on these greens here. I took anything with green up here. I brought it down here, so I did not take the terra rosa and the blue. Two combinations. I did not bring those down. I just brought down the greens, anything with green in it. And so this is phthalo green and terra rosa here. These first two, you can't really see much of a difference between the two of them almost when you add yellow to them. That's what I did on this line here. I just did yellow. I added yellow to each of them. Like up here, I added white, but I added yellow down here. Did not move it quite as, far the scale. It means these guys stayed, even as a warm, they stayed, pretty dark. In fact, they really stayed at about 7s, I think. Not really quite as all the way up to 5s like I was did with these guys. So these guys are going to come forward and they're going to be the bottom of the painting anyway, so that's okay. But a few of these things can be into the giraffe. You can start to see some of the warmer yellow browns and stuff come through here and stuff. They're going to help out doing some of the giraffe work too. But I like those colors, but then I took them down here and we add white to them to get them high key. Because what I knew was one of these colors we're going to do, we're going to make the land in between here. It's like, it's not that big a part of the painting, but you know, getting that depth, you know, is going to be, you know, what's going to make this painting work really well. So knowing that I'm going to be able to use these colors here for the very front area right behind the giraffes, and then I'll be able to go with these colors here with more white in them for the mid part, and then I can go with these cooler colors further back. That should give me all the distance to make this move. Giraffe colors, definitely I'll be able to use any of these yellowish whites. In cooler, anything with a little more red in it too will be good too. So these guys here, even though it's supposed to be the Serengeti, I might be able to put it in areas of these giraffes. One of the things I want to do too is when you do this, you want to squint at these guys, because when you squint at them, you can take out the spots, and when you take out the spots, you can start to see the really shape of the color we're going to be putting in. Okay. Tone wise, I'm probably going to go with burnt sienna would be too close, but if you have burnt sienna, that's okay. I'm going to go with just some Terra Rosa, because I think I'll be able to help me with the sky, and I want to gray out some of these greens, make sure they gray out, and I don't want them to warm up. That's why I'm going with Terra Rosa. If I go with burnt sienna, I think that's going to enhance the greens and make them warmer than they should need to be, because then they'll come forward. That's my thinking. All right. We spent enough time on that. Let's get over and start painting. Use these colors up. Got a lot of colors here, right? A lot of colors, but really, it's only the top ones we made, and everything else is just offshoots of those coming down. Not a whole huge amount, but we're going to have fun. All right, let me get everything going here again. I'll bring you guys in. Bring you guys in as close as I can get you without hitting everything.
Okay, stay girl. Stay girl. Where are you, Dave?
I don't get it.
All right. All right, dog here. Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna mute. We have to mute Lynette. I'm sorry, Lynette. We're muting you. So like I said, I'm using Terra Rosa, and I'm gonna draw it in. Hopefully you guys have this you might even have this drawn in already. But if you want, even when you're doing Terra Rosa like this, I'm gonna put the cerbite color even down here, you know, keep it going down underneath here first. You know, because most of this area here, and anywhere else, is going to be a nice warm. So anything I do here, I can leave this just almost the way it is. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm just going to scrub out everything else. I just want to get a tone everywhere else. I am painting only a 12 by 16 on this one, because I figured there's going to be enough stuff to paint that I'll take it easy, be able to get it all done. Okay. Here's it. And take it easy in the middle. So even with this toning, if I do it right, value-wise, you squint right now, that's the right value almost for the painting. So even just wiping it off like this, you know, is going to be pretty close to what values I need. So any colors I've worked into it will work. And then this dark here too, you know, get that back in there, a little bit warmth in here coming up. All right, I'm going to draw it out. Just like I said, I want to come around in here. That's that. There's this green patch right in here. I want to make sure I get that. Okay, making sure that this giraffe here, the far one, I got room on the sides here for him. You know, he's not going to get too far off, but really, you know, look for the twists in the neck and stuff. So the necks, we're not doing two perfectly straight necks, that you can just see a little grace to these animals. A lot of grace to them, really, but you know, I would say make you get those curves in. Okay, so right about here is the land, and then you're going to get a couple slices coming in here from the mountains, and one way up here. Slight marks, just basic marks for myself, where I don't get too crazy. At least the faces and stuff, you don't see too many faces. So side views, perfect. Good job. All right, this guy here, he's going to come over. I want to keep him out of the center. So I want to make sure he's, you know, the center of the painting here. He can come up against it. I want to make sure he's pushed over here too. So I might even slide this guy over just a hair more. Just a hair more. Just where I can slide this guy over. Basically, you know, nice thing. Basically, we're not doing too much bodies and stuff. Looking how their backs line up. The back sides here line up almost a straight line here between these two. So that tells me how high I have to take this guy up. Compared to him, and then really this one, if you look at this guy here, where his back end is, it's really about this, comes up right here to the back of this neck of this guy here. So that tells me a little markings of where to go with things and where I got to end. So this back end hump here is where this guy's last hump over here is about, and then he goes up. Yeah, I gotta keep him right in here too. Little skinnier neck. Okay. he almost touches this mountain line right up here. Comes all that height. Okay. Said a lot of cook. Okay, this guy comes up about here. Barely breaks this area here. Mouth. There. Ooh. So a lot of things will be catching with paint more than worrying about this stuff here. I should probably get in front of it too a little bit, but I'm not going to. Okay. Palm tree here goes up to there, goes down to here, covers up this guy a little bit. This guy, a little bit palm tree there. Nice to feed back in, push it back in right in here. It's here. Okay. Grasses definitely just come in here. Just a little bit here. I would say even, cheat the red in this area here if you want. Cheat it in here because it's going to be as much as you want because it's going to be in here. That warm red I'm just going with. All right. Let's get the darks in now. Just start to settle everything down. We're not going to worry about, like I said, these guys here. We're going to go dark right here, and then we're going to go boom. Pretty much everything else mid-tone. We're going to paint the giraffes pretty much last because of I think everything's going to kind of take care of them. I don't even think of marking them. That don't the tops of their heads and stuff. Not going to really make that big a deal. You can put in pretty much everything really easy. So like you said, I'm going to start with my warm greens. This is phthalo green and Terra Rosa, oxide red. And definitely in these front plants here, definitely everything in this front area here has a lot of red and Terra Rosa and phthalo green in it. Trying to get as dark as I can get it. No white will be added to any of these colors for a while. So think about how far he has to come over. Definitely want to break it into the grasses a little bit too. As far as you can, just bring it down. Because of it would just help in the next part and stuff. You don't have to go back and paint in between things. So really, that's it for those colors. Definitely, start to think about breaking things up. Okay, I'm just going to keep the warmth there, and then I'm going to probably hit this spot here too a little bit. This is just basically running the paint out of my brush, not really. So this is why it looks so. This is just phthalo green and oxide red, Terra Rosa, just petering out a little bit to the sides. So that's out of my brush. Definitely want to get a few darks here. So this is where I was saying putting in a cool this is blue and Terra Rosa. And inside this area here, you put a blue inside here and these greens stuff, really will get some really darks. The reds will start to show through and give you a little more dark in these things. So when you have a little bit more depth in your painting. Not a whole lot. I mean, okay, I might go.
What was that, Jim? The blue and Terra Rosa? Did you say?
Yeah, but I put the green in underneath behind it, and then I'm putting these guys just in front of it, right at the bottoms of this area here, and this guy back in here. I might go with the more blue side here of that color. You know, in here, it has a on this guy too, just to gray it out so it's just a little cooler. I still have a lot of green in my brush. I have not like cleaned out my brush, so I've got a lot of cool greens in it yet, and that's what I'm trying to say here on this one is that that'll give me some little depth, kind of a blue green. The next greens and stuff, I have the burnt sienna and phthalo greens. This is green. This is on the green side. Now this is what I was thinking about very front here. Grasses and stuff. These two guys coming down and getting these that dark of a color back in the front. Green, this is on the green side, so it's make sure get a little bit more here, and then I'll bring it back in the red side on the other side. So I've got even that going into that Terra Rosa I have down here already. Well, give me another index color here, a little bit of so now when I put that burnt sienna, boy, that's really value-wise, really close to almost what I need to keep in that front already. Because I was, sometimes you think with your head instead of your eyes, mixing colors, and you start going yellow. So it has to be a certain value, it has to be brighter. And all of a sudden I'm making this bright, too bright a yellow. And that's pretty much what happened there. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot darker than I was going for, or imagine using in this area. That's what I'm trying to say. So this area here, basically, it's really close to being done, except for some grasses that need to be put in. So half the painting's done already. I'm gonna save that color. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go start working towards the back end of here a little bit. It's gonna basically I'm almost out of my darks to use. I'm gonna use a little bit of the phthalo green and alizarin. These guys might be too dark, but that's what I was going to use back in the farther back trees here, in the here and over here. Maybe this is more green. They're not too far back, so I think depth wise will be okay. So this one, phthalo green and alizarin. And basically, I got a little bit of oil in my brush, and that's what's thinning it out enough that it doesn't look like it's going in full strength. This is full strength, right there, how dark it can get. But I'm trying to use the board itself a little bit to, create a little some things here. Okay. All right. Let's go right for the depth. Let's keep going. We did really well on that. I'm pretty happy with that. Probably could have took this color up a little higher, but I think a lot of that, I think that's just pushing the colors out, softening them a little bit. Get the right height. Okay. I'm going to go down and just jump to my next colors. They're the ones where I added white to it. What I'm going to try and do is start going into the depth. And these guys are going to be just go a little different. I'm going to look for my warm values first. And those would be like this one, burnt siennas with green in it. I'm going to see about putting that in this background right in here. Might go a little more red. I was thinking about red in the front here, so that's more burnt sienna. And then as I trail back, I'll use the other side of the colors where it's more phthalo green. Doesn't really get really phthalo green. So just those two colors together laid in that order work out pretty well for depth. I'm going to keep that coming over here a little bit and start to cut out these guys. So that is, in fact, my, for the Serengeti land back in here, this is pretty much, it. I mean, I'm going to be going now, has to go a lot lighter and redder. I might put a little more warmth in that too, but not by much. It's only here and there. From there on, from this spot on to about half to cross the valley there, right about here. That has to go to that other color. So there's a lot of white going into here now. We'll be passing a lot of colors here right now. But the colors I'm going to go with are the colors I added yellow to, and then I add white to. So they're like, this is burnt sienna, again, burnt sienna with cad yellow added, then adding white. Burnt sienna, phthalo green, sorry. These two mixes here. That's what I was thinking back in here. That's almost too bright. That's closer to almost what these guys should be. Okay, that works better. Okay, I need to gray the color out because this is really close to what I'm going to be using for this guy here or this guy here. Both these guys are really kind of close in the yellow range of underneath. This side of the giraffe gets warmer, a little lot warmer, right? This guy is pretty much that whole color. He doesn't get a whole lot of big changes in his back end side, where this guy, it gets a little cooler over here, which is that color. But this side gets a little bit more light to it yet. So we haven't done hardly any colors. It's amazing. But that means when I put this stuff back in here, this has to be cooled off. So I probably will have to use a cooler color, or these guys won't shine as much. Okay, I'm just going to keep going with these two colors and some of these little lighter ones. And I'm going to start painting in this guy. Just since I had the yellow on my brush, I'm just taking it up here before I have to clean it off. I might as well just keep going. I'm just talking about it. So I'm going to be using my yellows on these guys. These guys are pretty easy to paint around, so it shouldn't be too hard. So these yellows I'm using are the CAD yellows added to the greens coming down, and then I added white. I'm just going to let the toning of the board mix kind of do all the work here, so I don't have to do too much. Okay. I'm going to add this, go back, add some of the warmer reds and stuff and greens and stuff in here. This first one's going to be burnt sienna, and I'm going to go with midtones first and then kind of work towards the darks. So these midtones are just burnt sienna and phthalo green with cad yellow in it. Kind of a tannish orange color. And I'm just going to paint. You know, I talked about, you know, putting in these spots, right? So, but shape-wise, want to get going in here and stuff. There's some things you can just see right in here and up his neck that are really combined simply. That it would be easier to do as a big spot. And that's what you always look for, is what's the easiest way to do this, paint this. And it'd be just going back in and then doing two lines instead of going in there and doing dots. On the light, when we get to the light side, yeah, that we're probably going to have to do more. We're going to definitely have to get back in and do, you know, some design work and get these guys in there, right? Now I'm going back in with some, now I have to go back almost to my really dark colors. This is burnt sienna. This is burnt sienna and phthalo green. Need to be on the red side, right in here. Let's get this dark shadowish from these two right there. Get it dark enough, and then look over here and get this guy too. It was easy to paint the shape. I think that's probably what I did too. Thinking about this, kind of easier to paint this guy's shape. Little phthalo greenish right there. It should be a little bit on the more on the red side. So I'm pushing to, this is burnt sienna again, phthalo green. I'm more on the, coming back and pulling it back a little bit from one side to the next. So this side has more green in it, so it cools it off. Just gives it the dimension. And another thing about when I'm putting in this paint stuff, you don't have to be perfect with it. That's the thing. Stroke wise, I'm not looking for, you know, a perfect match of softness and things. I want to kind of let the brush make some interesting marks in these dark sides. I'm going to go, let's see what this does. Follow the hair on that back edge too a little bit. So this is going to be a little bit of moving around color wise, just looking at trying to make These colors work. You have it go with the oxide red and blue here a little bit too, right in a few spots on the side here. Here, fine. Yeah. Sometimes you can only go so far with that some colors. And kind of put in that light color a little bit early. Should have I took it too far down here, so it's like what it's doing is graying out my colors so much. I almost have to use such really full strength colors. Counteract the white I put in here. So this is, in fact, colors I'm using on this guy right in here is Terra Rosa and Phthalo in blue. Because this guy right back in here, I have to push it that much. Get these marks. Taking it right into these greens too a little bit, so I'm not darkening that area too a bit. So really, darks are about done. Burnt sienna again. Working it back in here. I'll probably will end up doing what I didn't want to do. But I think there's real light, you know. It was good thinking, you know, it makes sense not to go back in and paint every line. I don't want to paint them all, but sometimes you might have to. Okay. So try and just get those darks back in there. I think that's why I'm going back and doing these guys, because I'm thinking like I gotta settle this down so I can do this background. I gotta make sure I have this set, warmth and stuff, so I'm not putting a warm back here and then having to change it. Because that warm here ended up being really these guys, the mid-tone for these guys. Yeah, I got some brighter spots here coming in. This burnt sienna and phthalo green again. On burnt sienna side with yellow, and then just in yellow yet, no white. Going back into this neck and area here. Now, probably go into that too a bit. Okay, I'm going to work. Trying to get a little bit of that warmth in here before I put in like any of the brighter greens that are going to go over in here and things. The reason I'll put the greens in last is then I can design it at least as I go instead of have to work around things. I can know what I have here that is good, and I don't have to, you know, go by what's really in the photo. Even though Man Marie took a great photo, the painting itself needs to be stand on its own. So. So the color I had planned for that, let me see if this works. This is more, has more red in it. Yeah, that's better. So this color here is came down with from alizarin and phthalo green on the alizarin side. With then I added yellow. Now I'm adding. I had a bunch of white. That's going to go basically in this area here, in the back Serengeti. The red area. I might have to strengthen this color a little bit because I think I mixed value-wise. It's all like number fives and stuff, but we'll see. Going to soften the edge there a little bit, not much. Warm it up just a hair as I come closer to these guys. So splitting the shape down a little bit. Probably get some of the greens. Oops. Show through here. So this is the green side of it. Yeah, I'm going to work that back into this color too a little bit. I'm going to warm it, use a little bit warmer color of it. Closer here. Of the this is phthalo green, alizarin mix with cad yellow in it, with just white, but this inner area here coming in, I just want to less white in it, so it's just it's cooler, and it will help create the depth I need. So probably overdoing my marks right now here a little bit. So painting around something I just don't usually do very much of. Try not to. So far back. Okay. Keep even between the two, or the giraffe and these greens here. So you want to make sure that you treat it as a sky hole. So anything in this area here between these two guys, these two here, this land you see, definitely at least a step darker than what you do. So it feels like the same color, because this is color I put in there. It's just that dark, but by putting it in over here, you can see how close it becomes the same thing. No, that's working out. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the green palms in front here, the trees. I'm going to go with go cooler and look for the next stage of this area. And it's kind of starts to gray out. Let me see. I was thinking, this is what I was thinking it was going to be. That's white. We got to put it in a few bits because it shows just a hair too rich. See, there's a hair too much color in it. Let's see. This is that was I was trying out was blue and oxide or terra rosa with white, which usually makes a nice smoky color. This one I was thinking probably will be it. This is phthalo green and alizarin. This is why I made that color up at the end. We're going, I think I might have to gray this out a little bit more. And I was thinking if I can put some of this purple in here, we'll make up, do a lot of damage back to it and get a lot done. That might even be just a hair too dark. But we're going to start with it at that point, and there are some other things we'll, if we need to run a little bit more paint over it, that's fine. I'll be using this color though, definitely for the hitting these palms coming in here in the midtones. This purple right here is going to be basically the dark value of anything back in here. We'll be using this color and just putting in highlights. I won't be putting in much more. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't mind that there. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this fronds. Okay. Now I'm just going to lighten that color up. I think I'm going to go more purple or white, which I'm really close to around the sky. I just got to do it all. I just can't. So this is phthalo green, a little bit of white, more white. Phthalo green and alizarin, more white on the alizarin side. Comes up a really gray white. Might not be any color to it. This is a step behind that, and you can see there's just a little too much blue in it. So this is on the other side, the alizarin and side, yeah, much closer. You want making sure also when you do this that you don't run anything right into the tip of the giraffe's mouth, that you are going above it, above the mouth, that you're not having anything end up even with its head. That the head, so this giraffe goes both, breaks this whole plane there. And okay. I'm gonna go here and just tap off that color. Okay, the mountain is in the background. That's hair dark. That's gonna go with the cool side of that. I'm going to leave those to the green. Next one, I am going with the blue. This is blue and terra rosa back in here. I'm going to go a little dark and then I'm going to lighten it up, I think. More blue on top and terra rosa on the bottom. gonna move the mountain down a little bit too, for I can get a little sky showing through here, so it doesn't look. You get about a frame on this thing that it's gonna probably take away a lot of things here. So, well, I can't move the mountain down; it doesn't run like that. Okay. Might have to lighten that color up. A little more white. See, I'm pretty close color-wise with that warmth up there. So it's Terra Rosa. Just got to figure out which one. Yeah, see, that's too cool. That's be Terra Rosa and Phthalo Green with the white. That's way too dark. So I'm gonna have to. I didn't mix that one white. Almost pure Terra Rosa white. And then you put in the greens. It's really a red sky, which is better. There. Value wise, getting there, up there, good. All right. Switching brushes to get this. Gonna move this mountain enough to get it into the painting. Keep it soft. This is one of the things I keep telling everybody. Soft edges back in here. Reason you don't get distance is because, really great distance is because you got too hard of an edge ever. That's what I've been finding. That's what I'm saying. Just break that line up a lot. If you have to use your finger sometimes to soften these lines in between, that's a good way to go. Yeah. You don't want too straight a line too. You need to, break it too, so it's not, because that also just draws attention. These things. So I'm going to bring some of that sky down in here, right on the edge of this mountain, and put it in here a little bit. Tone down some of these other areas here. This is just using a little bit of sky. So this is that basically a Terra Rosa, little phthalo green in it, just a little bit. And using that in here to, just soften a few areas and brighten up a few things. Bringing it forward a little bit so it's not. We'll find it in a few spots. Okay. lighten it one here. All right, that's a good blocking, really. That's really pretty good. Last little things I'll be doing. I'll start working on my greens, and then the last half hour, I'm just going to be putting in some of these details of these guys. Basically, I don't want them to be too out of place too as I go. I don't want them to feel like they're cut out or anything. So it's really keeping everything soft, and then we'll figure out what edges we need to bring out. So greens, definitely my greens. I'm going to get a couple of these yellow greens. Basically, I'm only going to hit the tall lines and the coming out, and leave my darks where they are, and then just do midtones and a couple highlights in these yellows. And that's all you have to do. Just figure out which ones are warm and which ones are a little cooler. So let's figure it out. I got a lot of this burnt sienna and no, this is not burnt sienna. This is cad red and phthalo green with yellow. And I'm going to put a few strokes in, this way and see if I got the right one in the right spot. Doesn't look too bad. Using a nice synthetic here. This is a Mary brush, rosemary brush. And that will do a lot of this stuff here. Okay, so that has a lot of yellow in it. A lot of this stuff, anything like even that kind of crosses these guys too much, I'm not going to put in. I shouldn't be putting those in. There'll be some warmer greens. Could be just a hair too light. Back to its original color. Darken it in just a little bit more. Like I said, square flat brush works out well on this one. I'll be bringing in some yellows. I'm going to finish off this color, getting these greens in right here at the bottom to the base of these guys. Start to use some of these darker greens back in here. And just a little warmth in them. I think that now that color's been just depleted a little bit in my brush here. That I can use that green I was using there and just get just into this front area and just get just a hair of warmth in this area here. It'll help bring that, you know, bring the stuff forward a little bit too. I mean, because it'll be pretty flat. Okay. Otherwise, greens look now sort of the front has its stuff. Now look towards these other ones. It's just a little more white in that color. And that green, the greens are just a hair too not bright enough. Nah, a little yellow too. There we go. So these back ones just fade off a little bit more. This is going to be a little probably tedious and stuff to do right here, so I'm going to probably speed it up and get to the good stuff. Get to the rest of the time on these guys. Just I would just say take your time putting these guys in, you'll be fine. Okay, that's good enough. This guy doesn't get hardly any there. And a lot of probably a little bit of knife work at the end too. We were talking about these guys. Good bristle would do this probably nicer than my synthetic, so I'm just going to leave that. Quit that. All right. Background's pretty good. Not perfect. Don't have the big trees. The trees in. I'll put those. Those guys are like 2-minute job. But let's get. I want to get this guy up a little bit here. Back end up a little bit higher right there. Hump goes up a little higher. Should have had that drawn better. That goes up higher. All right. All right. Let's start with the big one. I'm just going to be going and remaking some markings and warming up stuff. Basically, the marking is going to go on top. So let's get the brightness where we need it. Definitely some yellow, white here in the front. Clean my brush. Definitely clean your brush out before you do any of this stuff. Make sure you got a grease. If nothing else, I'm going to go with a clean brush. Another synthetic. And too much white. It's too bright, but I was going to go into here. Get these marks here before I have to do any of this stuff. Just get the legs. That's good, but I think it probably could go warmer. It's a little too cool. Same with this guy, a little warmer too. Okay. Add just a little bit of white to that color. This is really high key right here. This is probably too. I'm just going to put it on this guy a little bit. This yellow white. All right. Those things. All right, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. This is a nice square. Probably. This one's too big. That's too big to do. Well, I'll try it. Sometimes a job just a little bit bigger than it should be. Let's see what it does here. Okay, put in these spots. Definitely when you clean your brush off, just touch oil. Just barely touch the oil, tip of the oil before you grab your color. And when you got it, you could go in here and you can put a nice clean mark in over that white. And the nice thing with a giraffe, you can just see almost its markings pretty similar. I mean, the white around them is real similar width and stuff. So keeping that in mind, you don't have to pay attention quite as much to getting anything exact, but just giving it the same amount. Just a touch of oil every once in a while, and if you do, Start your paint in a good strong area here where you need a dark. And then when it starts to peter out, it starts to mix with the yellow that's there, then come down and do the light spots in the legs. Speed things up for you. Really, just a few more spots, really. Here, more red. And if they get like too sharp, like a few of these guys get up here, just touch them again, tone them down, and give a nice natural softness to it. So these colors, I tell you, a lot on this guy right now. This is just phthalo green, alizarin mix with yellow. I'm using pretty much for this whole area here. It's on the red side though. I see it over here too, trying to see what. Definitely going to be, got to switch up warm and cools and stuff. Yeah, just doing these spots is going to take a little bit of time. Finding the spots on this smaller one being more on the lizard, more of the Terra Rosa and blue mix, very top, very first one. Being a few hitting these darks and stuff going in here. Pretty dark too. There should a lot of contrast to it. Now that it's petered out a little bit in my brush, I can come down and do leg parts. A lot of this is just where it's gonna, everything will get eaten up here. I'm gonna have to come back in and do a few other things here. So I just want to get a few marks on this guy for you. We should, yeah, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. I don't know, a little later it was. Put a little more cad red into my colors here. These yellow greens I got going here. Trying to get it a little brighter right around his neck here. Look for over here on this guy too. Just a little more cad red mixed in my green. This is green. I was probably burnt sienna and phthalo green. Just put a little bit of cad red into that color because of trying to get a certain dark warmth here. Going to use the markings of the giraffe here to make his ear. Basically, use them to dot around his ear enough to create a shape. So I won't have to come back too much to it. Spots go all the way around the neck. Not too much, not as much of that. I should lighten this up. Fun. Now, and then really just playing around with your greens and your reds here a little bit at the end. Make sure you fit in here. Too big a brush to do eyeballs and eyelids and stuff, so I can do those. Okay. Then the last thing, definitely bring in some of the yellows in here. Where's it? Green. Just gonna bring in a couple of these markings, bushes and stuff. Just trying to control the depth. But then these guys. Go back in and just pick out a few more of the spikes here to pull in. It's a good start. Pretty good. Gonna have to put in some more darks yet, but you know, it's like all darks. I mean, basically midtones back here, and these guys. Gotta watch how warm I put things in back in here because sometimes that warmth will come forward too. Definitely a lot of work to do. Okay, I'll bring it in. Sort of see what's going on. You can start to see the depth. Trying to get there, and the guys, a three-headed serpent almost. Okay, let's see what everybody else is doing. Hey, tell me when you guys are ready.
Well, I'm behind, but
How can you
I'll
be
show
behind? This is yours.
Well, I know, but I'm in the yucky stage.
That's good. Let's see yuck.
Okay.
Ha. Oh, yes. But you can see where it's going really nicely.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's in that yucky, the block in yucky.
Yeah, it's blocked in, but you can see the depth you got going is very good. Going all the way back and stuff. You got some nice, beautiful colors working there. I love, the darks straight up front like that, sandwiching the giraffes with the light from the back valley and between the mountain and stuff. Really good. Yeah, so it's a good start, really. It's a really good start.
I'll proceed.
You have to proceed. This is yours.
I know. The pressure's on.
You got to go for it. Okay.
I'm gonna go for it. All right.
Oh, I know you are. Let's see. We got Lynette needs the show. Turn on your mic, Lynette. There
I'm
we
ready.
go.
I don't know.
What's up? And let's get Eva to go, and Jeannie and Mary. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Great, really good depth. I mean, way to get the warmth and the cools and getting back there. Real good.
You have a pretty good teacher.
Yeah. Okay. You still got to lighten up the giraffes yet. They have to come a little bit brighter.
Okay.
Just on the light sides, in those areas. But that could come with when you put in the spots, go around the spots and stuff. Probably you can use that to lighten them up. Yeah, and then you might have to go just a hair lighter in between them in that foreground, that background back in the midground there.
Yeah, I see that.
Just a little. That's the way it gets. Just got to gray it out just a hair more. But that's not much. Otherwise, you're doing. It's coming along really, really quite nice. Yeah, a lot of yellows in the front area value wise is right there. You gotta get a little warmer. So in more of the burnt sienna and phthalo green, and into that front without as much white.
Okay, so darker then.
Yeah, just a little richer too. Yeah, the white just kind of took out the color, the richness, which brings everything forward, which sets everything else farther back.
Yeah.
That's all. It's really close. Your highlights and stuff. Good drawing. Really good start. This be a nice one to finish up for you.
It will be fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a little different than horses, though, huh?
Yeah, right.
I know you had your heart set on horses.
I thought for sure we were doing horses.
Yeah. Hey, Jeannie.
Hey.
Did you?
Well,
I know I mentioned horses too, and Monday night was kind of a tough one, so I decided to take it a little easier.
Was it horses?
Yeah, 2 horses pulling a cart. So I decided to go with 3 giraffes for you guys. Okay.
I like this, but I'm struggling with the giraffes. I don't know. It's
longer necks. So yeah, your body's not the bodies come up a little in the main one, the guy in the middle. Yeah, his neck, his body's up too high. He has to come down. It's a little bit longer neck. Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah. Just bring it down. Let me see. Yeah, it's about the middle. Yeah, it has to come down. I think the other one, the little one's the same thing. It's all the bottom part of their body is up just a little too high. So you got to bring the background, push their necks down a little longer. Mm-hmm. They're giraffes. Same with all of them. They're just you missed them all the same way. Not bad though.
Okay.
Yeah, easy fixes at this point. That's a good time. It's always a good time to get a good fix on them, and then you got your darks in the front. Gorgeous. Love the way you put in a few of those markings. Very expressive. Have a lot of life to them. They're really good. That just brings so much energy to a painting when you have those kind of marks in the beginning. Really nice.
Thanks.
Love it.
Thanks.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, the depth's starting to work really well. Good job, Jeannie.
All right. Well, I'll work on making them look more like giraffes instead of I don't know, ostriches.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, really close. Okay, Eva, come on, turn your stuff on, Eva. Come on.
Well, there is no stuff. Sorry, I was just watching.
You were just watching. No fair.
Eva,
You're a Monday night girl. You're a Monday night girl. You were supposed to stand up for the Monday night people, and
I know, but exactly. Too many things to do.
You
Yeah.
you got like 40 paintings to do between now and next time we start up.
That's right.
Okay. Good for
Okay.
you.
But
All right.
anyway, it was really great, and this picture, original picture, amazing, Anne-Marie. This is and of course, beautiful painting. I will
It's gonna
try.
work out. It will work out, won't it?
Mhm.
the
Okay.
colors. I just love the colors.
I do too. Yeah, I'm sure you'll paint it. I know you'll paint it because you
At night.
yeah, you got time at night.
At 1 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. We'll lock you out again. Get locked out of the house again, like she did in France. Okay, Mary Kay, did you paint? She got her mic off, but she has a photo.
There I am.
There you go. Let's see.
Whoopsie.
Of course you always paint. I mean, why should I even ask?
Ooh.
Okay. People like you, I have problems with. I can tell a mile away. That's too nice. Wow, that good edges already. Good stuff. Everything has a nice quality to it. Really good quality to it so far. Wow. I like everything about it. Okay. Yeah, you just got to have a few of those few sharp edges here and there on the front on the trees and stuff, but not much. That'll make everything so much even more sharp and clear, and distance is so good. Yeah, when you get the highlights in there in the line, the striping or the shape pattern of the giraffes in there, you got it made. Really great.
It's a bit of a mess.
Oh, it's a little bit of a mess, but not by much. I mean, really, you got some really solid, fun things going. I love that.
When you said let's start sharing, I wanted to scream at the screen, no, not yet.
That's the way it always is. You guys, you're never ready. It's always when you decided to make a change.
No.
Oh, but that's good.
Thank you, James.
That is really good. Congrats.
I enjoyed your class. It was very, very good.
Oh, yeah. Your work's very right there. I mean, you're good stuff. I mean, for the few hours we paint and stuff, you guys have done, really tremendous. You guys should all be very proud of yourselves and everything. So, anyway, yeah, this was our last class. I didn't miss anybody, but next week though, we do have another class. I am doing a basically almost free class. I'm doing a $5 class, and I'm going to be donating the money to a little animal shelter here in town. So if you guys want to come to that, we'll be doing. We're just painting a crow.
What day is that?
Next Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll also send you an invite for Monday. I think I'm doing just a free one for Monday, but that's just for students and stuff. Say thank you. I haven't even decided what to paint yet. Maybe we'll paint your other giraffe one.
Where he's peeking, or the one on the plane? I also have charging hippos. I have charging hippos coming out of the water.
Ooh, let's see. I don't remember seeing that one.
I didn't send that to you.
Okay, you're holding out on us. I know you can't send all your good ones. You gotta keep them back there. I do too. I mean, you guys should see the good ones. I'm holding out. But that's it for a few weeks. We start back up on the 23rd or something like that. Yeah, 23rd. We'll be going for 8 weeks. 23rd and then 30th, and then we're off for a week, and then we'll go all April and to May and stuff. So we should be good for a while. So
Great.
yeah. I think that's it for me. And we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week, rest of the weekend. Finish these up. Put them
Thanks
up
so
on
much.
Thanks, Tim.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Love your classes.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
You guys were all great, but thank you. Thank you, everything.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.